Heavenly Father, thank you for this food.
George should change his name from Foreman to Poor Man.
To hurt.
Down goes Frazier!
What's my name now, fool?
Foreman is the new heavyweight champion of the world.
Where's all that rage coming
Don't
from?
have any rage.
And it becomes all you know.
Let's thank God for the food, y'all.
I bought the food, mama.
Those are scenes from Big George Foreman, Milwaukee native and filmmaker George Tillman Jr.'s latest film. It covers the miraculous story of one of the most feared heavyweight champions in the world, George Foreman. He won an Olympic gold medal and went on to win the World Heavyweight Championship. Foreman retired to become a preacher, but financial hardship forced the former champion to step back into the square circle. Tillman joins us now to talk about Big George Foreman, which opens up April 28th in a theater near you. George, welcome back to Black Nouveau.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, man. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too. So why a film on George Foreman?
Oh man, that's one of the greatest sports stories that ever been told. Here's a man who lost the heavyweight championship to Ali, in 1974, and many years later come back in 1994 and win the championship belt again at an age that nobody thought could anybody do it. But on top of that, it's a great human story of George was a young man who was angry, who really was trying to find a direction in life. And then later on, he made a complete change, a spiritual change that made him a better human being. So I love that story of thematic of change in the sports aspect at the same time.
So did you grow up a boxing fan?
Huge boxing fan, man. ABC Sports used to play the Ali Frazier fight all the time. And also they used to play the Rumble in the Jungle. So I was always watching these fights with my father back in the days. HBO used to have monthly fights at night. And we used to go visit family and friends who had HBO. Not everybody got HBO now, but back in the days, there would be only one person in the neighborhood. So that's where my love of fighting came to be.
Yeah, I remember those days. So Khris Davis is the star of the film. What can you tell me about his acting abilities and how he played a prize fighter for this movie?
Man, he's amazing in the film. I mean, he was a Broadway, New York actor. I just saw him. I wasn't familiar with his work till I saw him come into the audition. And I was surprised that he was 6'4", huge, and he can act. And the audition process was amazing. But on top of that, he wanted to do everything. He wanted to be George Foreman. He wanted to take the punches in the ring. He was dedicated to his weight loss in terms of losing weight and then gaining the 200, 300 pounds that we need for the second half of the movie. He was a guy who was very dedicated to that. And he did a marvelous job in the movie. And George Foreman really made it possible to make this happen. And he agreed that Khris was the guy to play him.
Yeah. So Creed 3 made $100 million in its first weekend. How does that bode for a Big George?
That helps us, man. I mean, in Hollywood, if you make a movie about a subject matter that doesn't work, they don't think they put money behind it. I mean, you can't compete with the Creed or Rocky franchise. I mean, that's a franchise I look up to. So it's just so helpful. It just made it feel like boxing is still prevalent in the theaters. People still want to go see them. So hopefully, I just want people to come out and support this movie as well.
Now, I know this movie gave you a lot of challenges. Can you talk about those?
Huge challenge. The biggest challenge was we were greenlit, for the movie in 2019, but COVID happened in 2020. So we had to shut down. During that shutdown, me and Khris Davis just kept working, kept preparing. And then by the time we got to the end of 2020, 2021, the beginning, hurricane happened in New Orleans. So we had to shut down again. And then we shut down, there was the death of Michael K. Williams, who was supposed to play the legendary Doc Brodus, who's George Foreman, cornerman. Forrest Whitaker came on to play that part. And we started back up and started shooting. So it was like a 3-year process to make this movie because of COVID and because of the hurricane that happened in New Orleans.
So how did Forrest Whitaker get involved?
I knew Forrest from years ago. When I started my first film, Soul Food, at Fox, I asked to look at some of the dailies, which is the shooting film, pretty much the daily shooting schedule and the footage of each day. So I learned from watching Waiting to Exhale when I first got to Fox, and he was directing that movie, Forrest Whitaker. And then when I did my second film, Men of Honor, he showed up, he was at the premiere, and he had tears in his eyes and said he loved the movie. So we've been friends just from here and there. One of my greatest performances that I love from any movie is when he played Charlie Bird in the movie Bird, directed by Clint Eastwood. He was amazing in that film. So we just became friends. He just became like a mentor from afar. Every time I see him, keep doing good work. So we got a chance to do the film. He read the script and he really, connected to the story. So it really helped us and saved us because we lost Michael K. Williams for the part and he came in.
Why should people go see this film?
Oh man, if you want something inspirational in your life, and you feel like you want some kind of spirituality, there's a spirituality about this film that you should see. It has a lot about the church and spirituality, but we don't preach. That's one of the main things the movie doesn't do. But another thing is you want to just bring a family where you can bring your kids, yourself, and your wife, your grandmother. This is for everybody. And you're going to feel inspirational. And the main thing is all true. There's nothing false in it. Everything is all there from George, and you're just going to get a good, inspirational, fun film. And this is something I wanted to do. My last film, The Hate You Give, was a very complex film, very serious. I wanted to do something a little more inspiring for this time around. And,
Great.
And that's what I'm excited about.
Well, great. George, thanks for joining us. Can't wait to see the film.
Great. Thank you. See you later.